TikTok Brainrot, Gen Alpha's best friend and our worst enemies. This shitty content has been polluting your mind and rotting your happiness and productivity ever since it's come out. So I think it's time for you to actually know how to slay this beast, how to start beating this shittiness pouring inside of your brain every single day when you consume this content. So today I'm basically just going to cover how to overcome the effects that Brainrot shitty content has had on you, and how to overcome like your scrolling addiction, and how all of that will lead to you making more progress, becoming more productive, and just becoming a better, happier person. So first of all, we need to understand why it is that like short form content and Brainrot has had such a bad effect on you. And the main thing is that the content is just, it's literally brain rot. Like brain rot is literally content that's rotting your brain. It's shit so bad that your brain cells are dissolving as you consume it. And I was at one point making basically brain rot content. Like I was making shorts that were just so edited that you couldn't even tell what the fuck was going on. Like I would have shorts, and like I'll probably put an example. Like this is what they would look like. Like what the fuck is this? You can't even tell what's going on. There's captions, there's a background that's moving with tearing paper and paintings and sound effects and glowing lights and like sound effects. Like sure, I'm trying to educate you, but this shit is like just simply destroying your attention span and like cooking your brain cells. So that's why I'm switching to a more like tame style of short form content. But like the much more bad side of this is like Skibidi Toilet and like I don't know what other. Skibidi Toilet is the main antagonist here, but just the shitty content overall is not helping you in any way, shape, or form. When you're watching these shitty content like brain rot videos, you're not being educated in any way, shape, or form. Like I may have been trying to educate you making those hyper edited shorts, but really all I was doing was entertaining you to such a point that you didn't even know you were being educated, which just absolutely served no purpose. But aside from the content just being shitty, short form content is made to keep you sucked in for hours and hours on end. It's literally a casino. You know, in casinos how they have no windows and shit, so you can't tell what time it is. In scrolling short form content, there is no end to the scrolling. That's the exact same thing. No windows in a casino, no end in the scroll feed. You know why Google, you know how Google has that thing where it asks you like, oh, do you want to go to the next page? Scrolling like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff, they don't have that, and that's why they keep you scrolling for hours on end. And when I said it's made like a casino, it's not just like in the structure of it all, right? But it's literally in the content itself. Because wouldn't it be great if like every single post you saw was just the most amazing shit ever, right? Wouldn't it be incredible if every post you saw was like super entertaining, right? Like, and you wouldn't really feel the need to watch like 5 hours of content if you were being like really entertained for 10 minutes, right? That's not what's happening. Like they're literally like, they can tell what like things, what videos you want to see, and so of course they don't show you like good videos for hours on end, because they want to keep you sucked in, and so they might show you a good video and then they'll show you 2 shit videos to be like, to keep you craving for more good videos. So you might, oh, really good video, and then this one's shit, maybe the next one will be better. It's shit for sure, the next one will be better, right? It's this thing of like, gamblers, 99% of gamblers quit before they hit big. You're trying to hit big, right? You're trying to get that really super entertaining short that you can send to the group chat, and that'll give you so much gratification and validation. Like that's why they're keeping you so sucked in, because the content has been made to not gratify you all the time, and so you're stuck in this gratification loop, and so you're kept in this like loop of constant need for stimulation, and the stimulation is just pure shit. And so pure shit on top of frying attention span, on top of made like a casino, is going to result in brain rot. It's going to result in you not being able to do your work. It's going to result in you not being able to talk to your mom without having thoughts about Skibidi Toilet or whatever else you're putting into your brain. But there is a way out. and I think I will be able to teach it to you. Now, I still, of course, am not like an expert. There are, of course, days where I just pick up my phone and scroll for like 30 minutes at a time, and I'm like, oh, why am I doing this? Like, I of course should be doing something else, and I tell people not to scroll, but I'm scrolling, so what is this? And then it's a whole bad feedback loop. So, of course, I still struggle with this, but I have been able to like better it so much with a couple of things that you can basically do every single day that'll cure your brain rot. And by the way, like, if you've been wondering, a lot of kids, like young teenagers and just people overall, have been experiencing like an increase in ADHD, but like people like Andrew Huberman have been saying that it's not actually ADHD, but there are symptoms of ADHD that are actually caused by you scrolling for hours on end, consuming shitty content. So not only is it frying your attention span, it's actually like making people go to the doctors thinking they have an actual disease or a condition, even though they don't actually have anything. So let's get to the curing part of this. Let's set you up with a good counterattack to this brain rot offensive that has been trying to tear down your fortress for years and years on end. So the best thing, the single greatest thing you can do to counteract this brain rot shittiness is meditation. Like, meditation is literally the antithesis of brain rot and short form content, because meditation is the literal habit, the literal skill of keeping your attention focused on one point at a time. And short form content is really fast paced, right? It's go, one video to another, and so like you hold your attention for 5 seconds at a time, and then 3 seconds, and maybe 10 seconds, maybe like a minute if you really have a super long attention span, right? Meditation is slow, right? It's calm. It's literally the habit of focusing all of your attention on one single point, not dispersing it all the time like in short form content. You focus in on the breath until you lose focus, and this is the main part of meditation. Losing focus doesn't mean you're bad at meditation. It's regaining focus that shows you that you're making progress. Like, I've been meditating. I have over 200 hours of meditation. I have meditated a lot. Right now, I'm by no means a meditation expert, but I have meditated a lot, right? And there is not a single meditation I have had where I have not had a single thought for the entirety of the meditation session, because that's not the point of meditation. The point of meditation isn't to clear your mind. It's to realize when your mind gets foggy and then to clear it back up again. It's to basically, like, think of it this way. Like, when you're meditating, your brain is clear, right? The light is on for 5 seconds at a time, and then the light goes off. And it's your job to realize that the light is off. You turn it back on, and that's you gaining mindfulness. You're becoming mindful that your brain has drifted away, and then you bring it back. That's the whole point of meditation. Just because you can't focus for 10 minutes at a time doesn't mean you aren't making progress, doesn't mean you aren't doing it good. The whole point of meditation is to lose focus and regain it again. So what I recommend you do, because meditation can seem like this really scary thing, it's only monks meditate, blah blah blah, but you've definitely heard of it. And the greatest way to start meditating is simply to implement it into your morning routine. And I found that when I do a habit in the morning, I keep the consistency going throughout the rest of the day, and I really often find myself doing that same habit in the afternoon. So I haven't meditated this morning, and that means that my chances of meditating like after this video might be a bit lower. But had I meditated this morning, I would have been like, oh, I meditated this morning, right? Like, I might as well keep the streak going and meditate again this afternoon. So simply like waking up and maybe, I don't know, doing whatever task you have to do, and just 5 minutes of meditation before you go to school, before you go to work, whatever it is. 5 minutes of meditation, and you just progressively overload. Simple as that. 5 minutes can go to 10 minutes, can go to 20 minutes. But the most important thing is that when you don't meditate for the day, do not see that as a loss. See that as a moment to be like, all right, I haven't meditated for today, I haven't done 5 minutes of meditation, but what I can do is take one single big breath, be super mindful for just 1 second, and that'll count as my meditation for the day. That will count as my mindfulness for the day. The most important thing is that you stay consistent. Don't get discouraged because you can't do 20 minutes of super no thoughts meditation at a time. The point isn't to clear your head, like I said, it's to bring it back to the breath every single time. So the second thing you can do to counteract all the damage that's been done to short form content is to basically just slowly go from short form to relatively long form content to podcasts. So I watch podcasts basically every single day now, and a lot of you might be like, oh, I don't have the attention span to watch podcasts, right? That's like 2 hours of unedited, raw, filtered videos. What do you think this video is, right? There hasn't been many like super ultra transitions. There haven't been many sound effects or like really loud music in the background. There hasn't been booming text all up in your face. Like, you watching this YouTube video and basically my YouTube channel overall, you have a really good attention span, because this video right now, it's 11 minutes and a half. There's been little to no editing, right? I talk, I add zooms, I'll add b-roll of myself, but overall you have a really good attention span watching this. So don't get discouraged just because you've been like your attention span is probably a bit better than you think, and just slowly going from like, you're scrolling every day. All right, I'm scrolling every day. You know what? I'll watch a Mr. Beast video. Sure, it's super ultra edited, but I haven't watched a video in a long time. All right, Mr. Beast video. You go back to scrolling for a week, but then a week later, you're like, you know what? I'll watch maybe two long form videos today, and then 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 until you're basically just watching long form podcasts and just not watching shorts anymore. And so I do still, of course, watch shorts from time to time, but overall my content consumption is relatively long form, right? Like, you can go on YouTube, whatever you're searching for. If you're searching for self-improvement videos or anything, you can make the search look for videos that are above 20 minutes, and that'll usually be a good thing to lengthen your attention span, because it's basically just like meditation, but while you watching content, right? Because when it's short form, it's always go, but unfiltered long form content literally just forces you to pay attention and to lengthen your attention span. And so the more long form content you consume, even content just like this, that's like, of course there are some edits, but it's not like all up in your face edits, right? I'm not destroying your dopamine and stuff. That as well as podcasts will lengthen your attention span, and at one point you'll find that you just not want to watch shorts anymore, because when you have a long attention span, your brain doesn't like it when things are always go, when you're forcing yourself to like watch really short, super dopamine videos. Like, you'll find that your brain just becomes a lot more calm, and you'll be able to do like more productive work. Your grades will go up because you'll actually be able to pay attention in class. Like, how great is that? Just by going from short form content to podcasts, like, your grades will increase and your relationships will probably increase, because you'll be more mindful during conversations, right? Like, simply by making the transition from really short Brainrot content to long unedited podcasts will make a massive difference in your attention span, which will help you overcome the negative side effects of super short form Brainrot content, which is mainly like a short attention. So the third thing you can do to overcome TikTok short form content, Brainrot, blah blah blah, is to actually, when you're having scrolling sessions, and I do this, by the way, what am I about to say? You watch every single short all the way through, and this can seem like, oh, but well, I'm still scrolling. You are, and trust me, once you stop watching this video, you'll be like super motivated, right? You might not scroll for the rest of the day. That'll be great. Tomorrow, you might still be a little bit hyped. A week from now, you'll probably have forgotten about this video, and you'll go back to scrolling. And when you do this, when you start scrolling again, it's important for you to watch every single short all the way through, because if you can't stop yourself from scrolling, you can at least minimize the damage, and you can stop yourself. But if you're too much of a bitch to follow the advice I gave previously, this is free. And basically, just watch every single short all the way through, right? Just don't skip through the shorts, and this will at least minimize the impact of destroying your attention span, because most shorts are actually longer than you think, right? You probably scroll through like a short every 5 seconds because your attention span isn't long enough to watch the whole thing, but most shorts are probably like 30-60 seconds. And so if you can watch every single short all the way through, that'll at least lengthen your attention span a bit more, which will make it easier to make the transition from short to long form content and like podcasts. So the last thing, which is actually the most powerful next to meditation, is simply not needing that shit, right? Not needing Brainrot and short form content to be entertained and to be happy is like the single greatest way to ensure that that shit doesn't have an effect on me. Because if you don't consume that shit, it can't hurt you. And the way to not consume it is by not needing it. How do you not need it? You improve your mental health. You improve the amount of dopamine circulating in your body naturally so that you don't need it from an unorganic source like Brainrot content. And simply improving how you feel on a day-to-day basis will make you not want short form. So I think I have a mental health guide on the channel. I think I may also have a dopamine detox, and both of those things, improving your mental health and a dopamine detox, are literally like key to countering the effects of short form content. So I highly recommend that you check those out. But yeah, I hope this helped you, and I cannot wait to see the burgers that you make. Cheers, bro. And by the way, below this is like a free self-improvement habit tracker. So if you want like a better, faster, if you want a habit tracker that I made, just it's you're not paying anything, you're not giving me your email or anything, it's literally just like a habit tracker. It's weekly, you can print it out, just like put it on your wall, and you have a habit tracker. It's like pretty a basic self-improvement thing. It has like meditation, learning, reading, going outside, sunlight, right, stuff like that, gratitude journaling. So you just print that out, like put it on your wall, and then you can just print it out every single week, and that's a great way to keep you accountable. I hope this helped you, and I cannot wait to see the progress that you make. Love you, bro.